go. Here we go.
Cha-cha Vaughn, my cousin, peace and blessings, fam. All right. I'm WUNAM, a.k.a. Nikki Love, your African Indigenous Traditional Healer.
A.k.a. Brother ADINKRA.
All right, y'all. Y'all know we tired tonight, right? But we had to come on here, y'all. We had to come on here. Now, make no mistake about it. We're not decoding, okay, the Black Panther movie. We're spiritually seeing what you can only imagine in your mind, okay? So with saying that, we're at home chilling out. Y'all see I don't give a goddamn how my hair look. Goddamn it, I'm relaxed today. I'm really tired. But I had to get on here because Spirit was saying we need to give a message about the trailer. See, we ain't seen the movie yet. We'll do a follow-up after we see the movie. But the trailer alone says a lot, y'all. Y'all agree? Yeah. What you think, Brother ADINKRA?
The trailer was amazing. The choreograph.
Speak up. We're not on podcast today.
The fight scenes and stuff like that I did see, it was pretty good. And the fact that his suit absorbs energy and he can push it back out. I like that. That's pretty neat.
That's kinetic energy. Let's get it right. Kinetic energy, y'all. Okay? Kinetic.
Yeah. So it's pretty dope.
Well, more than just the movie being dope. Okay? Because I know y'all many used to the comic books and talking about the comic books to the whole thing. But let's talk about the spiritual aspects of this movie. Because for those of you who are into decoding, we're not talking about decoding the movie. We're talking about what Spirit showed me about the trailer alone, okay? So, for one, how many of y'all let me know, how many of y'all going to see the Black Panther movie? How many of y'all already got tickets? Put it up in the chat room. Put in the chat room. How many of y'all got tickets already? All right. Peace and blessings to Nubian.
Peace, family.
Peace on YouTube. Hey, YouTube. I got my Facebook and YouTube going. So, peace and blessings, family. So, I want to know how many of y'all already bought tickets. Because y'all know it already pre-sales tickets $120 million. Okay?
It surpassed Black Panther movie has already surpassed anything that Marvel comic movies have put out. It's already at $120 million. And remember, what, a week or two ago when we talked about Black Panther, WUNAM said that Black Panther was going to be the highest grossing movie in history, and it looked like it's on its way.
They ain't even show the movie yet, y'all. They ain't show it, but I told y'all, like he said a couple weeks ago, it's going to be the highest paying roast movie in history. Know why? Because it got this behind it. You know what I mean? Got the melanin behind it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But anyway, family, I wanted us to come on here tonight because we need to understand what this movie means spiritually. If y'all see the post I put up before we did the Facebook Live, you'll see I got a picture of the whole cast of Black Panther. Well, not the whole cast, but the cast that was mainly the cast. You know, the main characters. And then I have a pictures of Bastet, Asar, or as you all may know him, Osiris, and the Sphinx, okay? And you all are probably saying, what does it have to do with the movie The Black Panther? Well, before we get into that, let's talk about a little bit about the movie, Brother ADINKRA, because you know about the comics. I don't know a damn thing about the comics. I know that, you know, comic books, my brothers used to have collections of them, they used to read them, but I didn't follow it all like that. So I'm going to let Brother ADINKRA talk a little bit about the comic book side of it, and I'm going to talk about the spiritual side and what we need to recognize, even when we just seen the trailer, because we ain't seen the movie yet. But I'm telling y'all, I got messages. I mean, I was getting downloads and downloads from the spirit of the ancient ancestors about this movie, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, I had to get up in the middle of the night, y'all. This is real talk, and write it down because the ancient ancestors were speaking to me. Okay? But we're saying that Brother ADINKRA's going to talk a little bit first about the comic aspect of Black Panther, the actual character.
Okay. Black Panther, in the comic book, you know, he's based in, you know, he's in Africa, and his whole thing is he doesn't really worry too much about, he doesn't have the same agenda as the other superheroes, worrying about, you know, the other things that they do. His main concern is his nation, Wakanda, and where he comes from and advancing them politically and all of that. And he only worries about them. Now, when he helps the other superheroes, sometimes he gets drawn into fighting these other villains in the comic book series. And what I do find interesting is they have this movie coming out prior to, you know, the X-Men movie that's coming out, I think 2 months from now, in May. I think it's coming out in May. And the main villain in that movie is Thanos. And Thanos, you know, he's a real powerful guy, and he's, you know, and he has a gauntlet on his hand where, you know, this glove, it's a glove, but it gives him his power. Well, in the comic book, this guy is hard to defeat, and Black Panther had beat him already in the comic books. So I'm wondering, are they going to tie that into it, or are they not going to tie it? I don't think they would, you know, do that because of all the hoopla that this movie is getting. But I just wonder, will they show that aspect of Black Panther, him defeating Thanos, because he defeated him before. He beat him before, and he took on another comic book hero with the glove and defeated him. So Black Panther, he's no joke in the comic book scene, and that's what I like about him, and because his character is solely based coming from an African perspective, and that's one of the things that the critics talked about. They felt like it was time. These are the European critics. They're saying it was time, and these are the things that, you know, of course we're saying as people of color that it's time, or, you know, black people, period, just, you know, all around the earth, the African people saying it's just time. And one thing that I found interesting, when the guy that plays Black Panther's father, when they interviewed him, I forget the actor's name, but when they interviewed him, he was like, this movie is going to show and prove that the Africans created all of these monoliths. They created the pyramids. They created all these things that they don't give us credit for. And the lady the lady that was interviewing him kind of cut him off. So.
Yeah, she sure did, but if I was there, I would say, you know what, sit down somewhere. Don't cut them off because you don't want to hear the goddamn truth. The truth is what it is. Now, before we go on to the spiritual meaning of the movie Black Panther, and this is just the trailer, y'all. We're just talking about the trailer. Let me go to the Facebook. First of all, wait, YouTube says, we have Xavier that says, does this relate to the 400 years of slavery? No, it does not. Spiritually speaking now. Because what we're doing is we're spiritually telling you all what the message was from the ancient ancestors about this movie. You have people that want to decode the movie. I'm not into decoding. I'm into seeing spiritually what the messages are and the subliminal messages that they put behind them, okay? So no, it has nothing to do with the 400 years of slavery, okay? And I'll get into that in a minute, but I'll give you a hint. It has to do with the transformation, the 25,920-year transformation that we are going through right now with the DNA reactivation, y'all. Not activation, but reactivation, basically, okay, telling you that we are at the beginning of the end. At one time, like I told you all when I used to do predictions before, okay? I told you all years ago, before they even started seeing stuff, I told you, them pyramids were built with high-tech lasers. The lands of Kemet used to be the land of stone. So when you logically look into it, or you spiritually see what I seen that that land was stone, and that there were forces, actually, y'all can say what you want to say, because some people are like, oh, they always want to say aliens. Aliens are just another species of beings, okay? Don't get it confused. But when we look at the advanced civilization that ancient Egypt was at that time, well, we have to understand, to us in modern day times, they might have seemed like they were aliens, okay? But they wasn't. They were beings, okay? So we're saying that this is part of the transformation. We are going through a major transformation. Remember, we are at the beginning. I mean, the end. We're at the end, but we're at the beginning. So everything is repeating itself. Nothing is new under the sun. And when you all know that they left many monolithic, you know, they left all this stuff around, the Olmecs, you know, the pyramids, you know, all of this stuff for us to see. Our ancients knew what they were doing. Because they said, not that they knew, they said, we shall rise in the West. The ancient Nubian Kemetic ancestors said, we shall rise in the West. And that's what's happening now. But hold on. Because it's deeper than that, okay? Now, Brother Roberts Armand in Facebook says, unfortunately, I suspect the movie will be used to demonize African-American anti-racist activism, just as Magneto was used to demonize Malcolm X. What do you think about that, Brother Vincent?
I don't really spiritually see that. What I see with this, because this is one of the things the brother did, the producer did produce this movie. He is a black man. He's actually really young. He's actually 31 years old. Mm-hmm. And what they were doing in this movie, when you listen to them talk about it, they were, number one, they were paying homage to the ancestors for allowing them to have this opportunity. That's what I do see. And they were drumming and they were chanting and they were doing all these things during the film. They knew what they were doing when they were putting this film together. And he had them put in contract that Marvel Comics wasn't allowed to change anything. So what he did was he basically brought in everybody he wanted to bring in, all his actors, the people that he wanted to work with, and he made sure that they didn't have, he had full creative control. And matter of fact, one of the characters that Black Panther fights, and he goes against one of his nemesis is the character Ape Man. And Ape Man, I forgot his I think it's Umbaka or something like that. His real name is Umbaka, his human name. Well, they didn't go by, the director was like, we're not using the Ape Man to describe a black man. So I'm telling you, this is a totally different movie with a totally different aspect, and they didn't allow that to even come about. So that's the thing that I do like about him, and he wanted full control creatively, and that he made sure that he got it. He didn't allow them to say, oh, well, we're going to change this, we're going to do that. He didn't allow that, so it's not going to be the same thing.
All right. Now, we're saying that, y'all. We had another person that put something in there. Let me see. Are they? Okay, Felicia says, are they the real Anunnaki? Okay. Are they the real Anunnaki? Now, I'm going to tell you this. Whoever you may think that the Anunnaki is, okay? I'm going to share this with you all. Now, if you all remember a couple of weeks ago, we were on. And I put up and I showed you, if you go back on my Facebook page, I showed you the symbols that these beings that I was communicating with on Venus had given me, right? Now, I told you all, when I wrote the symbols, because I was doing, I was going in, I was tapping in, I'm going to the planets, astral planet, to Venus, to Jupiter, to Saturn, you know what I mean? And when I'm looking, they said, write down these symbols. So y'all go back, look at my Facebook, I put it there. Now, what y'all got to understand, family, is that when I went and looked at the symbols, one night I'm happened to look up, the deity of the god Thoth. The ancient deity Thoth, right? Or you all know him as Jehuti, okay? Or Tahuti, okay? So when I'm looking up the beings, I'm saying, okay, I go back, I look up the emerald tablets, and I see one of the symbols that they had given me visually. And when I told you all these beings that I've seen, or that I communicate with, are beings that communicate telepathically. They are people of color. Okay, they're very dark skinned and they had white hair. And when I see them visually in my visions, they're all dressed in white, right? They definitely got an African look to them. Okay, no doubt about it. But they communicate. Oh, they don't speak. They only communicate telepathically. Long story short, I see one of the symbols that they told me to draw in the emerald tablets. I said, wow, okay. So there's a message that I had to get from that. Anyway, if y'all didn't see it, go back on my Facebook page. You'll see it. I put the symbols up that they told me to draw. Long story short, when we speak of the Anunnaki or these beings, yes, we have beings that come from the cosmos. You all have to remember, the ancients said, as above, so below, okay? That you have the Dogon who said that they come from Sirius A and Sirius B, and we have a dwarf star called Sirius C, right? Then you have the actual, okay, Zulu tribe that says, we're from Mars, okay? So, I'm going to tell you all like this. This is how I know that it's our time. This is how I know the ancients was right when they said, we shall rise in the West. I'm going to tell you why. I go on yesterday, and I'm Googling stuff on Dogon. They got all these things on Google talking about debunking the theory that the Dogon put out. How could they see Sirius A and Sirius B? Right? You seen that?
Nah, you was telling me about it.
Okay, so now, I'm like, you know what? I know what this is. I know what this is. Well, we have to understand the ancestors are working through. As I told y'all before, and I told y'all years, y'all who used to follow me on the radio show, no. I told y'all, the ancestors have risen. They have coming from under the sea. They're coming from the cosmos. They're coming in your bodies. The ancestors are not playing, okay? Now, with saying that, family, well, we got to understand, we have to pay attention to the spiritual signs. This movie, The Black Panther, is giving you messages that you need to pay attention to, okay? Pay attention to the signs. Now, I don't think it has anything to do with demonizing African Americans, okay? I don't see that spiritually. What do you think, Brother Dinkwa?
I don't see that either. And the Europeans definitely don't see it, because all they're talking about, this is a cultural, this is a different type of movie that you normally don't see as far as black people, period. This is the theme they're saying. And so far, even the critics, when it comes down to the critics, like the Rotten Tomato, they gave it 100% rating, and that everybody's just astounded at how good this movie is. The only negative thing that I did see that the critics had to say about it is the movie was so good that they're worried about how is they going to be able to fit him into the other, playing just a character on like the movie coming out 2 months from now, like, because he's going to probably get so big from this role.
Exactly. Now, Candy Rain says in Facebook, our nation needs this at this time because Black History Month, they're trying to fade it out. First of all, they need to fade it out. Who gives a goddamn about Black History Month? I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I don't think that we should just have 1 month, okay, out of the year to dedicate to Black History Month. We should have Black History World. How about that? Black History World, because at the end of the day, what's taking place spiritually now is that our ancestors have risen. Like I said, the ancient ancestors, our ancestors, and they're not playing. I told you before, they're coming like the million Chinaman army. And look what's happening now, okay? Now, we're saying that, what we have to understand, family, is that what's taking place at this time, okay, is that it's time for us to rise again. It's time for us to rise again. This is all written in the divine records, okay? It's not a coincidence. Go ahead.
Also, you talked about them trying to debunk the Dogons and stuff like that. One other thing, you remember you told me a couple of days ago that they had a group on Facebook. What was that about? They're trying to get people not to go see the Black Panther movie?
There was a group on Facebook, family, that was trying to get people to give the Black Panther movie bad reviews. And you know what? Facebook, hooray for Facebook, because they took it down, okay? But at the end of the day, people like that, all I have to say is, they're just mad. And what's going to happen, they're going to start dwindling away, okay? They're going to start fading away because it's time. Now, let's get into the whole spiritual aspect of the Black Panther movie. Now, as I said earlier, when you know about the Black Panther, and I'm going to just share this with you all. The Black Panther is one of my spirit animals that I've been walking with for years, and I used to call the Black Panther to do a lot of work for me, y'all, okay? Real talk. I've always been intrigued with cats and black cats, you know what I mean? So with saying that, we have to understand that the Black Panther, although it is a representation of a male in the movie, the Black Panther is that spiritual representation of Bastet. Bastet is the ancient Kemetic goddess that is in charge of warfare, okay? Now, you all know, if we look at what's going on around us right now, we have a lot of warfare going on. We got racism, okay? We got spiritual warfare. We got the man between nature warfare. So there's a lot of war that's taking place right now amongst us, okay? So when you understand what the role of Bastet was, you'll understand what is taking place in this movie, The Black Panther, okay? Now, that's just giving you a sign, okay? Because we're talking about the spiritual aspects of the Black Panther. That's giving you a sign. Now, you constantly see him do what in the movie? Like this, family, right?
The sign of Osiris.
The sign of Osiris. For those who do not know the original name of Osiris, Osiris is the Greek name, Osar, okay? What was Osiris' job, Brother ADINKRA?
Osiris, he was, Osiris was the lord of the underworld. He ruled Upper and Lower Kemet. He was Set's older brother, and the reason why Set had him conspired to have him murdered and killed was because Set was married to Memphis, and Set was married to Memphis, and Asar got Memphis pregnant, and she had Anubis, and so after that he was jealous and enraged, and he conspired to kill him. And as the story goes, he had him cut up into 13 pieces, the 14th being his phallus. And the goddess, went and found him throughout the Nile Valley and reconstructed his body and resurrected him.
All right, so there you have the explanation of who Osiris. So in the movie The Black Panther, you actually constantly see him doing this, okay? The rise of, the deity of Asar, okay? Again, for those who don't know the original name, it's Isis. Peace and blessings to my sister Hawthorne and Brother Cages that just came in, okay? Now, pay attention again to the signs. So you got Bastet, which is the black cat, okay? Black Panther. Then you have Asar, the sign. Okay? That's a symbol. And y'all can write this down if you want and go back and further look at it yourself, okay?
When you see the trailer, you see him, slapping, greeting his sister, and he's doing that, they're going in. So.
Okay? Now, the other thing I want you all to look at, the women, the warrior women. Now, we do know that in Africa, there were women who were some very powerful warriors in Africa, okay? The women in this movie are the representation of the rise of the divine feminine energy. Don't get it confused. The rise of the divine feminine energy. So when you see these women going in, okay, and specifically the black woman being the mother of civilization based off our ancient history, okay, our ancient truths, not mythology as they told you all. This is a representation of the divine feminine energy must rise to bring the balance back to humanity. So when you see the women in the movie fighting and again, alongside Black Panther and the crew, then it's about bringing that balance back. We will not let a nation defeat us. You understand? We will not let a nation defeat us. So the women must rise and fight besides the men. Now, what else did you want to say, Brother ADINKRA?
Let's see what else I had. Also, back to the ticket sales. I just want to say, not only did he is this movie breaking all the Marvel comic pre-sale tickets, they're setting out kind of records period on the pre-sales, and I'm probably, I want to say it'll probably get up to maybe 150 million pre-sale. It may even surpass that by the time we get ready to go out and see the movie. The rest of the people get ready to go out and see the movie.
You all off the whole topic of the spiritual aspect of it. Hold on.
So I don't really.
Okay, so all right. So let me get back to y'all, because I think I lost Brother Thinker. He wasn't the one getting the messages. I was. And when I tell y'all I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and them spirits were just sending me visions and messages, I had to get up and share this. Now, okay, let's go to. We talked about Bastet. We talked about Asar. Let's go to the city they call Wakanda, right? Now, I just found out, Wakanda, I'm sorry. Now, if you all look at the trailer and you see them, and they're all stacked up, it looks like a big giant mountain, right? It looks like a big giant mountain, and you see water, okay? Now, supposedly this city, Wakanda, is a made-up city. Now, I just found out something I didn't know, and I will give a shout-out to Brother KT, because I heard him say this today. I heard him talk about KT, the arch degree. I heard him talk about that the name of America used to be a Mexim, and that they used to worship a god called Wakanda. Okay, so that was new to my knowledge. I didn't know. Thank you, Brother KT, the arch. What?
KT, the arch degree.
The arch degree for that. Okay. Now I want to give him a shout out for that. However, what I want to share with you all is that when you look at that aspect of the trailer. What it did is it took me to Mali, okay? It took me to Mali where the Dogons were, right? I said, wait a minute, hold on. That looks like almost similar to the city of the Dogons, you know what I mean? So I'm looking, and I'm saying, okay. I said, all right, Spirit, what you showing me here? What you showing me, okay? So then I begin to do some more, spiritually seeing, you know what I mean? So I go and I spiritually said, wait a minute, hold on. The Dogon, who is the one who let us know about the Sirius star A, B, and C, who have a direct connection or direct descendants of the ancient Nubian, okay, from Egypt, or Kemet, okay? I said, wait a minute, there's something here. So then I start tapping in further, y'all. I start getting into it, right? I start really saying, come on, ancestors, show me what I need to see. You know what I mean? Show me what I need to see. So.
That's not working at all.
No, it keeps cutting off. So what I'm seeing is that, okay, wait a minute, hold on. When I looked up, like I was telling you earlier, I'm Googling the Dogon, and I'm saying, all these people are trying to debunk what the Dogon's saying, which is a whole bunch of bullshit, okay? Let me tell you all something. If you're spiritual and you know what I'm talking about, we do have the ability to astral plane and go places that they don't understand that we go. So they were trying to say, well, the Dogon said the way that they were able to see, because they can spiritually see, that the Dogons, said the reason they know about these different star systems is because they can see and because of the melanin in their skin, which is somewhat true. Okay? So we're saying that, family, I'm saying, okay, hold on. Am I seeing some type of connection here? Now, when you look at the trail of the Black Panthers, you will see high technology. As Brother Dick was saying earlier, if you notice, they're using kinetic energy, okay, to actually enhance the power in Black Panther suit. There's two things that Spirit showed me with that. We do have plants over in Africa that are able to give you strength. Now, on the Black Panther movie, they talked about vibranium, okay, which is an actual, heart-shaped plant that gives you power, gives you strength. Well, what people don't know, in Africa, we have many herbs like that. I have medicines with that stuff in there, okay? Real talk. This is over in Africa. You have to get the plant from Africa, but there's different ones. There's many plants that can have this ability. One of the things I'll give you all, there's one plant, it's called the Modia plant, okay? And that plant actually gives you strength, okay? A lot of women take it after they have babies if they're weak, but men can take it too. It gives you extra strength, okay? Now, we're saying that, think about it, in the movie, this actual plant gives you strength, vibranium. Also, think about the minerals, monatomic gold, right? Monatomic gold, iridium, rhodium, all of these metaphysical different, things that we used to doing in the community or taking in the community that also takes you on another frequency, another vibration, okay? So now you're looking at this movie and you're saying, oh, okay, they're starting to expose it here, you know what I mean? Now, let's go back to somebody who asked a question about the Anunnaki. The story that you were told, or probably heard, that the Anunnaki came here because the Anunnaki wanted the gold, right? The monatomic gold, okay? So when you asked if those beings or those, beings in the movie were the Anunnaki, you know what? I'm going to say, spiritually seeing, I don't see that that was the name of them. And I do see that we have beings of color that do come from other planets and other places. I told y'all this years ago. Now, with saying that, okay, family, what we got to look at in this movie, and especially on this trailer, there's definitely a connection and a spiritual message that we have to take from this, okay? Now, let's talk about the physical aspects of it. Let's get out the spiritual. Let's talk about the physical aspects of it. This movie is coming out the day after the day before Huey P. Newton's birthday. Who is Huey P. Newton? It sounds funny, y'all, trying to say his name.
He was a Black Panther.
He was a Black Panther, right? Now, also, if you look at the storyline of the movie, the Caucasians coming in, and then you got the African Americans fighting against the Africans, you know what I mean? Which is happening in real life today, okay? There's a message within that, okay? But the bigger message is what I want everybody to see, the spiritual message. Let me tell you all this. Take it how you want to take it. I told you all years ago. The Sphinx, or Haramakhet, which is the original name of the Sphinx, which is the lion head goddess that you see in Egypt, is the overseer of the earth. Okay? How do I know this? Because the ancient ancestors told me so. Say I'm crazy if you want to, but I know what I know. They told me so years ago. Now, if you all remember back in 2012, for those who follow me that long, I told you there was going to be a rotation that the Sphinx was going to take. It was going to be a 360-degree rotation that the Sphinx was going to make. And when the Sphinx made that rotation, what you were going to see was a major transformation that was going to take place, and specifically with the people of color, okay? This message came directly from my ancient ancestors, okay? So when we look at this movie, The Black Panther, you have the lion-headed Sphinx. You have the Black Panther, okay? You have the technology in this movie, okay? You have the original people, okay, in this movie. And see what it is this is all part of the plan. Everything is happening the way it's supposed to be spiritually. And I'm going to tell you all another thing. The youth, watch what's going to happen with the youth. This movie is going to, okay, spark something, or spark the next level of their DNA. And you will begin to see our youth become, which there's a lot of them that's that way now. If you all go on YouTube and look at these little kids who got superhero powers, go look on there. This is going to spark another level of another strand of the DNA, and then they're really going to start coming into their real spiritual powers, okay? Don't say I didn't tell y'all so. We have to pay attention to the spiritual aspects. So in this movie, there's many signs, okay? We're talking about warfare, which we're experiencing right now, which is the representation of Bastet, goddess, the Black Cat, or the Black Panther, okay? We're talking about the sign, the rise up of Osiris, okay? Osiris, the god of the underworld. The underworld, what did he do? He came back, and what he did is he lifted up the spirit of the ancestors, the ancient ancestors, which we are. Because they told us we shall rise in the West. Don't get it confused. We're here in Atlanta. I tell people all the time, this land of Atlanta was connected to ancient Egypt at one time. People say, how do you know? I just know. I just know. You see what I'm saying? So when I began to see the young boys here years ago, when I came to Atlanta, walking around with pointy beards and locks in their hair and 2 earrings, I'm looking on the walls of ancient Kemet, and what do I see? I see the same images. You see what I'm saying? This ain't no coincidence. This is real, and this is part of the transformation. But along with the spiritual transformation, we must understand the aspects of the physical transformation. Because people say, oh, this is to demonize our people. No. First of all, if there's one thing we do know, everybody has a natural intuition. Get out the physical world, take yourself into the spiritual world, and see what you see. Can't you see what's happening, y'all? So don't even get caught up in the aspects of, you know, what's going on in the real world. I don't care what they say. They already starting shit, want to talk about it, want to, belittle the, too much African culture for me. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Y'all can keep talking while we continue rising, because if you only can see what I see, okay? Now, let's go. Let's see. That Kendrick Lamar video did something to my DNA. You're talking about the one DNA. I got royalty in my DNA, right? That's the one, sister. Because what it is this movie is going to waking the DNA of our next generation, our youth. This is a whole new paradigm, family. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. We got any questions? We got any questions, family? Tell me if you got some questions, because we'll take some questions. If you want to know if I see anything else spiritually, I don't know what you did to my computer. If you want to know if I seen anything else spiritually, ask me. So, for those who just joined, we're talking about the spiritual meaning of Black Panther.
To this topic, right?
What? Right. Yeah. No, they ain't doing all right. Come on now. Come on now. No, we talking about the spiritual meaning of the movie Black Panther. Again, we're going to do a follow-up, because I need to see the whole movie to give y'all more. But I want y'all to see the direct connection between the Dogon, the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Cometians, our ancient Nubians. You understand? I want you to see the connection between the different signs and symbols that's in the movie, especially the Black Panther. I heard there was a Black Panther over in Oklahoma roaming. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, family. Okay?
Sun Moon Star and me, he said his spirit told him that a group of people were going to be rising soon. Are we getting close to that time?
We are rising. We've been rising. But what's going to happen now, and the best, y'all got to understand this, like I told y'all before, okay? Understand this, and the worst thing they could have done was gave us the WWW, the World Wide Web, okay? But we've been rising. The ancients said we was going to rise. We've been rising years ago. And actually, it's happening faster and quicker now, okay? We are going through a transformation faster and quicker. Y'all can't see? Are y'all noticing that anything in the past is a figment of your imagination? Think about it, family. Are you noticing that you ain't even thinking about the past? Like before, we would have serious issues, right? You would think about this, but do you notice how the transformation is taking place so quickly that you ain't thinking about nothing in the past? You just moving forward? If y'all experience this, let me know. All right. Jane Johnson says, I've been waiting on this untied rise. So many years trying to evoke change in few numbers. We have much more within us and are so powerful. Okay? Just my opinion. Okay? And no, it's not your opinion. You're right, my sister, because what it is that power was suppressed by what we've been told. I.e., our truth was our mythology. Mm-hmm. So with saying that, what they did is they used the mechanism to keep you down, to brainwash you and program, and made you believe that your truth was your mythology and that their mythology was truth. You got what I'm saying? So with saying that, when they did that, they knew what they were doing. Okay? But they ain't got no control of this right here.
Love and Peace said, I think we're getting ready to take back what's ours.
Love and Peace, we've been slowly but surely taking back what's ours. We ain't getting ready to take. Let's put it this way, their time is up. We gave them time. And under this paradigm of the time that we have given them, we have seen nothing but chaos, destruction, wars in the name of Christianity. So with saying that right now, This is why the divine feminine energy had to rise to bring the balance back, okay? But not without a battle, okay? Not without a battle. And this is what that Bastet, that energy of Bastet represents, the goddess of warfare. So when you see the Black Panther, that's a subliminal sign letting you know we are in a serious war, spiritual warfare right now. Because they don't want to understand that it's just time for us to rise back up again to bring that balance back, okay? So with saying that, these are different little signs that you got to pay attention to, okay?
Any more questions? Comments?
Any more questions or comments? Okay, so your necklaces are blinging like crazy. I know. But now let's go to YouTube. So let's go to YouTube. What is YouTube saying?
Yes, you are right. I work with the youth today, and are a whole different level. They don't take no mess, and I tell you.
They tell it like it is.
And they tell it like it is.
And you're so right. But let me tell you something about these youth today. And I look at my grandson. My grandson is 8. 8, right? No, he's 9. First of all, he's extra strong. Second of all, he is brilliant with cars. Taught himself about cars, right?
Cars, trains. You know about a lot of stuff. He's only 9 years old.
Now, these youth today, they going through a transformation too. Peace and blessings to my brother Akuntunde Sango. Right? Let me just say this. These youth, when they see this movie, it's sort of like y'all remember when Obama came into office, you know what I mean? Now it gave us a new outlook about, thinking about, okay, we got a black president, although we know that wasn't the original black president, but it did something it empowered the black person to think, okay, well, I can be a president. This movie is going to do this, but it's going to do it on another whole level. This is not a coincidence. What is taking place is that it has to be shown because it's time. It's going to reactivate the DNA. Okay? Look at that.
That's crazy.
So we're saying that, again, and as a matter of fact, when we get off here, everybody, I want you to go back and I want you to go look at the trailer. We ain't even seen the movie yet. And I'm just telling you what the messages I was getting from the ancestors and how the ancestors was just giving me messages about this whole, movie and what was taking place and the power and the melanin and, the high technology, was saying to me, yes, our ancients are back. You see? And this is what's really going to take place in reality because they got you think it's just a movie. But they know before we knew because they stole all our stuff.
He said the cosmic conscious you he got from you is very powerful. It had his first eye vibrating.
Yeah, that's the amount of time. That's the amount of time ago. And see, this is the thing, family. Like I was saying, now go to the Black Panther movie. What do they talk about? They talk about the kinetic energy that they give the Black Panther to strengthen him. Amount of time ago also has that ability to do that, along with many other plants. Not just what they made up called vibranium, but with many other plants that you can get that actually do this. This is why you always used to hear me say, family, when you walk outside, you walk into yourself. Nature provides everything that you need to sustain life. And with saying that, we have lost respect for nature. You see, all of this is part of this transformation. All of this is part of the paradigm of us waking up as a people. Okay? Coming back into our higher selves, our God selves, our king selves, our queen selves, our goddesses and our gods. You see what I'm saying? Has to take place. It's that time. Okay? Kim Smith says, as we go through this transformation, should our diet change? You're going to be alerted. One of the things you all have to do is get out of the physical and start coming into the spiritual. And we're saying that, like I was told last week, Spirit said, do a water fast. Do a 3-day water fast. I said, okay. A couple of months ago, if you all remember, I had you all doing the fast with the green. And not to become a vegan, but because there was something that the plants were going to do to your DNA. I just give the messages. I'm just a messenger, y'all. So I was given the message that you needed to do a week of just greens. Okay? So when an ancient speak to me, I give the message to you all. Ancient spoke to me last week. Everybody needs to do a water fast for 3 days. Now I'm going to say this too, okay? All of this is taking place accordingly. You ain't got to do nothing. Because it's right in sync with the earth, with the cosmos, as our ancients said, as above, so below. So it's right in sync what is going, even your mind. You ain't got control of it. You part of the very thing we call Mother Nature. You part of the very thing we call the cosmos. So what I'm saying is we're universes within universes. So you really ain't got to do nothing. See, we trying to do, we ain't got, it's happening naturally. It's happening, your mindset is changing, and you wonder why. You don't even know why. And if you look, things don't even look the same no more. I don't know if y'all at that vibration yet, but things don't even look the same. You start looking at the trees different, you know what I mean? You start looking at the sun different, you know? You start looking at, you know, life differently. This is all part of the DNA reactivation and what's going on within you. And let me tell y'all something. Do not make the mistake of thinking that they are all too powerful, because they're going through it too. Going through it too, y'all. Look at the weather. I told y'all there's a war between nature and man. And man will lose this war. They will lose this war in the biggest way. As much as they're trying to do. We talk about, you know, I think it was last week, we were talking about how all these things are being sprayed, people getting sick. But what's happening is, you got a few people that may be dying, if that's true, okay? But the body's changing. The cells are changing. You're going through an evolutionary process in your body. So we're saying that because you're going through this transformation, your cells are able to conquer it. Your body's like a computer.
And not only that, you know, as you know, when people start doing poisoning people, sometimes it has a reverse effect instead of adverse effect. You slowly poison somebody, and sometimes people become immune to it. You know, and I think that's what's happening with them putting the chemtrails in. Over time, people just starting to become immune to it. Their bodies just starting to adjust. And that happens a lot with melanated people. When there's a threat to their survival, something comes online in their DNA and it activates because of the melanin in their body, and it allows them to adjust, their DNA to adjust. Just like with sickle cell, just like even with the crack epidemic and stuff like that, even with AIDS, it's certain people, groups in Africa now that they've been testing for the last 5 years, that they've been purposely trying to give these people AIDS, and they're realizing that they don't have AIDS, and they can't figure out why these people don't have AIDS in Africa, because the body's adjusting. That's how melanin is. You put it in something chaotic environment, it's going to adjust to it.
Okay. Parker Helson says, I've been casting a lot. Is it working? What do you mean casting? Casting spells? Casting rituals? What you talking about?
Maybe
is that what you're talking about? Rituals? That's a guy.
Maybe talking about casting, like trying to cast.
Okay, so if you casting rituals, is it working? I'm going to kick your behind. Why are you asking me questions like that? Talk about your girlfriend. We talk about a serious subject here, my brother. We're talking about, first of all, paying attention to the signs and the symbols that are being given through to us through this movie, The Black Panther, okay? So, come on now with the nonsense. I ain't answering that question, sorry. Okay? Now, that was pretty much what I wanted to cover. If we have any questions about what I was talking about, y'all can ask the questions before we get off of here, okay?
Somebody said, do their ancestors feel they hear their cries? That's why I asked you that, because she's talking about her family's going through a lot. Was it Malika Morel or something like that?
What did she say?
She says her ancestors hear her cries because her family's going through a lot.
Look, it seems like your family's going through a major transformation, okay? They're going through a major transformation, but there's some things that is going on in your family that y'all need to fix. And yes, the ancestors do hear your cry, but I think you need to cry a little bit louder, my sister. I think you need to go outside, and I think you need to take off your shoes. And I think you need to put your feet to the earth. And I think that you need to hold your hands out. And I think that you need to get some water. And I need you to yell out. I need you to yell out from the gut of your stomach and call upon the spirit of your ancestors. Okay? I need you to let them know, hey, what's going on? They're going to give you messages through your dreams, or they're going to come to you. They're going to let you know they're there. Okay? Hey, Rihanna, how are you, sister? Okay. Now, it's funny because my spirit told me to do a water fast in 3 days. See what I'm saying? It's not funny, sisters. I'm telling you, you're getting the message. And see, this is what we're not paying attention to because we're so caught up in the energy of what's going on physically instead of spiritually. Okay?
That's not sister, that's Sun Moon.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sun Moon. Okay, it's funny. Okay. And the amount of time ago. Okay, every month I feel a vibration. Love and peace. Every month you feel a vibration. Okay. And if y'all pay attention, you'll feel a lot more. Y'all got to get out this physical world. Stop watching the news. You know what I mean? Pay attention to the weather, though. I didn't even know we had a tornado warning today, y'all. My daughter come, Ma, you know y'all got a tornado warning? I was like, oh, no. I ain't worried about it, though. I got my trees, my family that protect me. You know what I mean? All right, family. I agree, Brother Dinkra. Melanin has a mind of its own. Okay? So
it wasn't connected to
wasn't connected to the line. You know, if you all go back and look at my YouTube page, I did a video. And video was scrying into the Sphinx, okay? Mm-hmm. When I went into the bottom of the Sphinx and down the tunnel and connected to the 3 pyramids of Giza. And I went under one of the pyramids, okay? Hey, Big Rose, Big Reds. Hey. All right, so when I went under the pyramids, I seen a tunnel that went down into water. And what Spirit showed me is that Atlantis, there was a direct connection under the 3 pyramid of Giza going to the city of Atlantis. The city of Atlantis was never a lost city. The city of Atlantis exists to this day, okay? The city of Atlantis runs all the way, and I'm telling you what I see spiritually, family, to Antarctica, okay? There are beings that still live under in the sea, okay? So, it wasn't connected, it's still connected. Everything on this earth is connected. Everything, okay?
And they just not, and keep in mind, they just not showing you, they're just not starting to show that the pyramids had water in it, and that water was, the pyramids were the first form of nuclear energy they used to light up the
because they have granite in it and limestone, okay? Limestone. Another thing I want you all to pay attention to with the movie The Black Panther. Now, again, we speak of Bastet. If you go back on my Facebook page, you go back, you'll see that there's a picture of Bastet, the black cat, with it looks like almost like the shape of a light bulb, but it has 3 lines across it, and it's energy, okay? To me, with that, spiritually, what I've seen with that is that it's an energy rod, okay? That enhances your body with energy. Look for that in the movie The Black Panther. Look for that in the movie. Okay, Facebook. Let's see, I tagged you on my post.
Too.
Okay.
And the women, the warrior women, their spirits have they shock you and all of that too.
Okay.
Sarah says, "What is the connection between Kemet and Atlantis?" She just said what the connection was.
Yeah, that's the one I answered.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I just saw it.
Okay. All right, family. Hey, family, I'm just tuning in, and I've been here. A lot of Christians, black and white, want to boycott the movie. Where do you see religion going with this?
That's my first time hearing it.
That's my first time hearing it, too.
Wow.
Y'all know what I always say, they can kiss my natural black ass.
Why would they boycott that movie and not the other movies? I don't know.
I don't know about that, Michael Grant. All I know is that at the end of the day, it ain't happening. Let me tell y'all something. The ancestors got a block and a lock on this movie right here. When I tell you all that this movie is going to be the most paid, a high-grossing movie in history's time, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Watch. And anything anybody tries to do to stop it, ancestors got it on lock. Ancient ancestors, present-day ancestors got this on lock. Ain't nothing they could do to stop it. They can protest all they want. They can try to protest. They can protest up, down, sideways, through the water, whatever they want to do. It ain't happening.
Oh, she didn't mean she. I read that wrong. She meant Atlanta, not Atlantis. She said, what's the connection between Kemet and Atlanta?"
Well, actually, honestly speaking, what I've seen spiritually is there's the direct connection that during the continental drift, this is a piece of land that drifted off away from that area of Egypt, Kemet. Okay, there's a lot that we don't know, and actually, if you go back and look at the history and look at the names of different places, like you have, I think it's is it Cairo, Tennessee, or
Memphis?
Memphis, yeah, Memphis. Then you got Memphis, Egypt. There was a connection between these lands. I can tell you how I know is because I spiritually feel it when I'm outside. I can feel that there was a connection. Not only that, there's certain trees, if you pay attention, a lot of people don't pay attention to it because they're not into nature like that, that I would see. I know there's a hospital here that has some trees that I've seen that look just like the trees in ancient Kemet or in Africa. You know, Kemet is in Africa, but in certain parts of Africa. And I'm saying that tree don't belong here. That tree belongs in Africa. You know what I mean? So we're saying that, family, there's like a time when all of this was connected. You know what I mean? And see, when the ancients said we shall rise in the west, okay? They said we shall rise in the west. That was taking place. And the first, not to say that I didn't see locks all over New York, but the first that I seen with the pointy beards was here in Atlanta. With the ones I seen with the, you know, 2 earrings and the locks. I'm looking at it like, I'm just like, am I in ancient Kemet? What am I seeing here? You know what I mean? So I'm seeing these young boys, and years ago when I was going to the colleges, we were doing lectures, I'm seeing these young boys and I'm showing them pictures of the ancient deities with earrings in their ear, locks in their hair, pointy beards. So I knew there was a connection between Atlantis and ancient Kemet. At one time, all the land was together. That's what Spirit showed me, okay? Okay, we're going to take 2 more questions and we're going to get off of here, family. Chadwick Boseman, who played the Black Panther, Spirit movies. Spirit moves me. Is something about him. He's an ancient one. He's an ancient one. He's truly an ancient one, okay? That's why. And when y'all learn how to read people's spirits, okay? I see that. Let me see. You know what's funny? Because one of the, what was it? Was it Osar that I was looking at? And I told you he looked like Luke Cage. Right? Mm-hmm. I'm getting that. And then I got to pull up his picture real quick. Let me pull up his picture. I'm going to tell y'all real quick. What are the questions y'all got before we go? I'm just going to tap into his spirit and see if I can see what ancient one he was, okay? What's his name again?
What's his name? Chad, I forgot
Chadwick.
his last. I forgot his last
Chadwick
name.
Boseman.
Boseman? Mm-hmm. I forgot his last name. Let's see.
And y'all know that he was the one who actually was not playing and was very adamant about the way he wanted his suit, and he wasn't moving. When they you know, showed him, you know, in reference to this movie, The Black Panther, he was like, no, y'all do this, well, I ain't doing it. Y'all gonna do this, and I want this one make my suit. He was very adamant. But Chadwick, okay, let me see, Chadwick Boseman. Or was it the other one? I'm sorry. Okay, let me see. Wow. Now, what I'm seeing with him, y'all, okay? What I'm seeing with his energy, As far as him being the ancient one, ooh. Spirit keeps showing me Ramesses for him. I don't know why, but I keep seeing Ramesses for him. I keep seeing Ramesses the first. That's what I'm picking up with his energy, okay? Wow. And what's crazy is because even though he's representing the, symbol of Panther or Asar, okay? He's got the energy of Ramesses. The other brother, Jordan, Michael B. Jordan, is the one who has the energy of Asar or Osiris. That's what I see spiritually, okay?
I have Ra little brother. What about Black Lightning? I don't really know too much about Black Lightning, so I can't really speak on too much about Black Lightning. I don't really know enough about him. I seen the trailer for the TV show, but I haven't watched it, so I wouldn't know. Sarah M says, this might be a little off topic, but my spirit is telling me there was something significant to the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. Can you speak to that? I said something to you about that.
You sure did.
What I seen was, it's just funny because I think it has to do with the whole racial issue and stuff like that, because the Patriots and the Patriots, most, they put all of their frontline superstars to the ones that they push to the media are Caucasian. And the eagle, the eagle is what the white people try to use is their representation of Heru or whatever. And, but the eagle, to me, the eagle doesn't really compare to a hawk, because a hawk flies higher than the eagle. Eagle has a hawk just goes down and attacks his prey and eats it. An eagle kind of is like, an eagle has, to me, when I see an eagle hunt, an eagle has kind of like a dirty way of killing its prey. And because an eagle, if you ever watch bald eagles, what they do is they might catch their prey highly elevated, like up on a mountain, and they'll go down and swoop that prey up, and they'll pick their prey up and they'll drop it and watch it fall to its death, and then go down and eat it. It's kind of, that's the way it hunts, and it's kind of, a dirty way to hunt. And then when it goes off to die, it flies as far as it can, high as it can, and it dies where nobody can find it. But I think those are characteristics that America has. But also, if we're gonna look at it like for a spiritual sense, I think it's just showing that time, for them doing what they're doing and getting away with it is over with.
But what you need to pay attention to is the falcon. Okay? Pay attention to falcon. That's what y'all need to pay attention to. Okay,
and I'm starting to see a lot of falcons now just showing up everywhere. So.
All right. Okay, family. All right, family. Since we don't have any more questions, okay? Okay, Kanika Goldsboro says, message from the king.
Oh, yeah, that was a good movie. That was with him.
With who?
With the guy that's playing the Black Panther. And his sister had got murdered. And they overdosed or whatever. And he came looking for her from Africa. And his weapon of choice was a bicycle chain. And he was
I remember
whooping motherfuckers' ass with the bicycle chain.
I seen that movie, okay.
And he wasn't no joke. So, yeah, that was a pretty good movie.
Yeah. So, her question was, you said you're connected to the Black Panther. How do you connect to the animal spirit? Kim Smith, I've been using Black Panthers for years. And I'm going to tell you how real and deep this is. My youngest daughter used to work at night. And I used to call upon my Black Panthers to protect her when she would walk out to her car. Okay? Well, actually, when I first put them out there, she actually seen 2 Black Panthers running. This is real. Okay? All you have to do is call upon them. Constantly call upon your spirit animals. And what you should do is get a divination to see which spirit animals walk with you. But I've always walked with Black Panthers. I walk with Black Panthers. I walk with lions.
I get a test to that.
Right? And what's crazy about it is that I summoned these animals years ago to come walk with me. And they do. Okay? They do. People don't understand. I can go, where's my Black Panthers at? Right? And you'll hear them, but you won't see them. Brother Dinker.
I remember before me and WUNAM, you know, we got together. I remember watching a video of her doing a exorcism, and I'm watching the video, and I keep hearing this growling but it was more like a big ass lion or something. I'm like, what the hell is that noise? I kept rewinding it and I kept hearing it. And I'm like, what the hell is that noise? And she was like, what are you talking about? So she listened. She said, oh, that's my tiger or whatever. What was it?
My lion.
Yeah, your lion.
One of my lions.
And it kind of bugged me out, but she's not lying. I heard that. I can attest to that.
Well, I mean, and Kim, what you just have to do is really, and see, this is the importance of being into your culture and into your indigenous, you know, ways and culture, okay? Because you do have the power to summon these things.
Yep.
Anybody could do it. You understand? Name your, you know, your spirit animal. Okay?
Yeah.
Name your spirit animal. Now, Amante said the actual bird of America is what? What did he say? The eagle?
The turkey, the wild turkey. But that's what the Native Americans was using, and the Caucasians changed it to an eagle. They use the wild turkey. And wild turkeys are fucking mean too. Them they'll chase you down and attack you. Wild turkeys.
I don't know about America right about now, but I know that, you know, there's a major transformation, a paradigm shift that's taking place, and you all need to pay attention, okay? And we're saying that, family, pay attention to the energy. Pay attention to these movies. When you think these movies are not real, they're very much real. There's a lot of messages that you have to pay attention to. As you all just came in late, we're getting ready to get off of here, but remember this. There's a spiritual message with this movie, The Black Panther. If you didn't see the video, go back and watch it when we get off of here, family. Remember, the key, the Sphinx, the overseer of the earth, the lion head goddess, okay? Overseer of the earth, Bastet, warfare, okay? Asar, the rise of the ancients. Asar, the god of the underworld. Asar, Osiris, bringing the ancestors back with him. We're going through a transformation, the kinetic energy, okay? The high technology. And in this movie, The Black Panther, they're showing you what we were about, what we did. And this is real. This is not fake, y'all. This is real. They're showing you how there were other civilizations. And really, honestly speaking, when you look at the movie, that's another thing I want to bring up before we go. They're saying they thought it was in Asia. They've been looking for the civilization for a long time.
Yeah, El Dorado. They thought it was in
El Dorado.
They thought it was in South America.
South America, but it was in Africa. You see what I'm saying? And the thing about it, there's so many tribes in different places in Africa that people don't even know. But not only that, what they don't know, what I've seen spiritually, it's not in Africa. Because this is real. They really did this, and they're making it like it's a movie, but they always show you the messages through the movie. What it is. It's an advanced civilization, just like in ancient Kemet and ancient Egypt, that comes from the cosmos, that does what they do here. And now I don't call them aliens. I call them beings that are just another species of beings that are highly, highly advanced than what we are. And on saying that, family, we don't have no more questions.
Nah, Sarah M., she just says, can she get a reading to know her spiritual path? Yes, you can.
Yes, you can check out the website. Go to the website, put it in there. Nikki Love WUNAM.
WUNAM.
That's N as in Nancy, ICKY LOVE N as in Nancy, AM as in Mary.com. Go to spiritual readings and spiritual work, book your reading, call me, and then I'll give you a time. Okay? I do past life readings, I do medical intuitive readings, I do ancestral readings, general readings, love, health, finances, past life, who you was, you know, what your journey is, all of that good stuff, okay? So y'all can go to the website, you book a website, you call me, I book you a time. Alright? Now, I will check it out. Okay. Do that, okay? Last question of the night. Okay. Why is it just coming up on there? Candy Van, your message is just coming up on the screen. Okay? I'm taking it to all in here, y'all. Okay, let me get back to Facebook here. Anyway, family, on that note, if you just came in and you missed it, go back and listen. And when you do go see the movie Black Panther, make sure you all support. Don't buy bootlegs. Do not buy bootlegs. We need to support our people.
Get your ass out there, Fire Stick, and go see the movie.
Right. Don't be watching her. No, go see the movie. Because you have to remember, you're employing people when you pay. This is how they get paid.
And what I did like about what the brother did, he went and hired as many people of color as he could because he was trying to get this movie to be authentic as he could. So please support that brother in his cause because he did a great job.
That's right. Oh, real quick before we go. Y'all heard about that statue that's supposed to be Nefertiti's mother? Well, it's supposed to be, wait a minute, hold on, let me get it right, y'all. It was revealed Queen Nefertiti. It was on Good Morning America. They got a picture of a literally a white woman. Bullshit. And they better be careful for that. They better be careful because their ancestors are about to show them that, you know what, you better stop playing. Nefertiti's mother wasn't white. Okay? Queen Nefertiti was not a white woman.
They say she was mixed.
No. They're talking about Cleopatra was mixed.
Cleopatra, okay.
Nefertiti was a black woman, and as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, Queen Tai was the mother of Nefertiti. So Queen Tai
she had an afro.
She had an afro. She was dark skinned. So make no mistake about it. Nefertiti is not a white woman. And let me tell y'all something. They better be careful because the ancestors, the ancient ones, about to whoop their asses for doing that. You'll see. On that note, love your family, okay? You ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here. Because at the end of the day...
They say, will Nefertiti come after them?
You're damn right. The energy of her spirit is going to come and watch. She's going to destroy that. She's going to debunk it all. Watch. This ain't no time to be playing. And they better wake up. See, they think they're so damn invincible. This ain't time to be playing. Our people done been through enough. As I told you all, our truth was told to us as it was mythology. But the ancestors, the ancient ones, have risen. And I told y'all this years ago on a radio show. For those who didn't pay attention, I'm hoping you're paying attention now. For those who didn't want to listen to me and thought I was just talking mumble jumble, you better pay attention now. Because y'all ain't seen nothing yet.
Sarah M. has one more question.
Sarah M.
She said, does she choose a past life reading? What do you want to know?
If you want to do a past life reading, you can do that. Okay?
Alright, she said good night.
Okay. Miss Agro Nicole, exactly. Bullshit, exactly. Enough is enough. Their time is up. Don't say I didn't tell you also. You will see. You will see. But also be prepared for the physical warfare. That's what that's what the energy is showing me. Watch, family. On that note, we'll see y'all. We'll try to come on tomorrow night and talk a little bit some more. Peace and blessings. Love y'all, family. Y'all ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here because it's time for me to go. Blessings.
Peace. What the fuck? Why this shit ain't going on? Look. Why it ain't going?
Hold on, family. I'm coming. There we go.
Right.